Hello everyone, welcome to episode 6 of the Runners Interview by the running community. Again, as always, thank you to everyone who's listening on podcasts and everyone who's watched on our Facebook page. If you have watched on our Facebook page when it goes up normally on a Sunday evening, don't forget this is available on podcasts as well. It's Spotify, Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts as well. Also, take a look at www.therunningcommunity.club. You'll find all our links there. It also gets uploaded to YouTube, youtube.com/runningcommunity. But again, just use the website. It's all listed there and all easily to navigate around. But yeah, thanks everyone who's tuned in. And I'm delighted to bring in a lady from the running community. She's been with us quite a while, and her name is Angela Ullah, or Ullah. She's going to tell me off. Watch this.
Either's
Hello.
Hello, Mark.
Oh, I have trouble with names sometimes, honestly.
It's fine. Even the family all pronounce it differently. I pronounce it Ullah, but some other families say Ullah. So
brilliant. Okay,
anything's fine.
I love that. That's brilliant. Well, welcome to Runners Interview.
Thank you.
How have you been today? All good?
Yes, good today. Thank you. You?
Excellent. Yeah, not too bad. They went into town the first time for a while with the kids, so that was interesting. Yeah, I had a slush puppy, but hey, I think the colour's gone from my tongue now.
What colour was it?
It was a kind of pink and purple mixture.
Nice.
But it was nice. But no, what have you been up to? Have you been working today or?
Yeah, working from home today. So since lockdown, I've been working from home almost all the time. Well, I didn't have any furlough because I was able to work from home. So yeah, working from home since before lockdown actually, because they anticipated that it was going to happen and they wanted us to check all the systems. So yeah, it's been a long time. The last couple of weeks I've been back in the office 3 times now, and I'm back again tomorrow. Might as well be at home.
Yeah, well, why not? Yeah, so I take it you're kind of rotating with other members of staff or your colleagues, are you? If who goes in or?
No, there's hardly anybody in. So I'm a PA. And I look after 2 managers. So yes. If they're in the office, it's handy for me to be in the office just in case they need me for anything. And they've been going in quite often because they've got lots of meetings going on. Yeah, and they don't want me to go back full time. We're trying sort of once or twice a week at the minute.
Oh, okay, brilliant. Yeah. Oh, I'm a bit nosy in that respect. It's interesting to see how everyone's working through.
Yeah, there's hardly anybody there.
Okay.
Yeah, yesterday there was only the managers, but there was only 3 managers. They were all in a meeting, and there was just me and one other girl. And there's like about 40 desks, so we were literally sitting. I was one end of the room, and we were massively socially distancing. We couldn't have got it any better. I was at one end, and she was at the other end. We were just shouting at each other and waving.
I actually love that because where I am at the moment, I have to go into the office to do my job. Really,
yeah.
For me, at home, I have to be there physically. But I'm on a bank of 6 desks. It's just me on that bank, and I love it.
That's the same as me. I can spread out.
Yeah.
No
one bothers me as well. It's fantastic.
No.
Well, you tell us about your work, funny enough. But yeah, tell us more about yourself, Angela.
So I don't really know what to tell you. I'm 52. I've got 2 kids. I'm married. I've already told you I'm PA. It's not an exciting job, but I'm basically just a dog's body. I'm like an admin dog's body. Yeah, whatever they need, I'll do it. I don't get the dry cleaning for them. It doesn't go that far.
Or their food at lunch.
yeah. And I love running. I don't have a massive amount of hobbies. I love nights out with the girls. Do girly weekends quite a lot. I love a good party. I'm a bit of a party animal. So I'm missing all of that. Yeah, with lockdown. Okay. Yeah. But I don't have any real hobbies apart from running. So yeah, nothing else really.
No, fair enough. We always go straight onto running anyway after that question. And what actually made you start running?
So I used to be a gym bunny. I've always been into keep fit and fitness of some sort. Years ago it was yoga. Always been quite active and done a lot of walking. And I joined the gym. I got married 9 years ago, and I joined the gym the year before because I had a little bit of weight that I wanted to shift, and I just thought, let's go to the gym. I'd never liked gyms before, but I found one that was okay. I felt quite comfortable in there. It was a bit of a rundown gym, not rundown. I would say a bit of an old school boys' gym, if you know what I mean.
Sure. Yeah.
Not no fancy machinery, no sauna, no swimming pool, nothing like that. It was just in the middle of an industrial estate, a bit smelly and a bit cold, but I felt comfortable. And it was near work where I worked at the time, so it was handy. And I did that for a good sort of 9-10 years. And I'd never really been a runner. I hated PE at school. I was the world's worst at PE. I'm quite short and I've got little legs. So running was just at school. If we had to do cross country or anything, I hated it. The only sport I liked really was swimming. I was no good at anything. No, I was no good at anything. I did a little bit of running on the treadmill at the gym, but it was mostly just sort of like warm up. So I'd sort of, run slowly for 5 or 10 minutes before I went and done anything, just to warm up, and sometimes use it as a cool down.
Sure.
But didn't like it. And then one day I was staring out the window in the office just before home time, and I saw one of the girls that works in the same office as me go out for, I saw her go out the door for a run, and I thought, oh, that's a good idea, go for a little run. So I asked her about where she'd been, and she said, oh, there's like a little pocket park, if you like, just across the road. I mean, we're in the middle of an industrial estate, so I didn't even know this existed, and it's not in my hometown, so I didn't know the area. We've not been in the building long. And she said, oh, there's loads of little routes you can take. You can go through the park, and you can go through this bit. And she was telling me about all these routes. And I went, oh, I don't fancy it, but yeah, maybe I'll try it one night. And then a couple of days later, I'd got my gym kit in the boot, because I always went straight after work. And I just thought, you know what, I really don't want to go to the gym tonight. Those days when you're just not feeling it.
Get too many.
And I thought, and it was a nice day. The sun was shining. It wasn't too hot, but the sun was shining. It was a nice day. And I thought, I might go for a little jog around there. I know some people hate me saying the word jog, but because I wasn't a runner at the time, it was like, I'll go for a little jog around the park. So I went, and I can't remember exactly how far. I think I did one loop of the park. And I was like, well, that wasn't too bad. So I did another loop. So it was about 2 miles.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure I probably stopped a few times. I've got the worst memory in the world, so I don't remember exactly like how long it took me or anything like that. But I quite enjoyed it. And then over the next few weeks, I did it once or twice a week rather than going to the gym. And then before I knew it, I was hooked. And I was not going to the gym at all. I even got a text from one of the girls that I used to go to the gym with saying, where are you? Are you still alive? Because you haven't been to the gym for ages. And I'm like, yeah, I might come back soon. I'm just enjoying running. And I didn't go back to the gym after a few months. I cancelled my membership and just carried on running. I was hooked.
What did she say, your friend? Did she go, what do you mean you're running? What are you doing? Why are you running?
Yeah, because she the girl that I actually, it's funny because I'm going for a walk with her on Sunday for a little catch up. We still keep in touch. And she is mad on weights and cross trainer and everything, but absolutely hates running.
So you haven't convinced her.
No, I did tell her last time we went for a walk. We went for a 7-mile walk around a reservoir. And I said to her, I ran around here last week, and she was like, you didn't. That's bonkers. But yeah, she's like, no, it's not for me. It's not for everybody, is it?
No.
Just, no. And I think if you find something you love, why stop doing it?
No, exactly. Spot on. If you find something you love, why stop doing it? I agree with you totally. Exactly. And you're right, it's not for everyone. That's why you got to try different things in life in general, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
You soon know if you enjoy it or not. Oh, that's good. So you're another person, because I always think, when am I going to get someone on here who's actually done Couch to 5K? And quite clearly you didn't.
No, I didn't. 5K,
no, you had some base fitness from the gym anyway.
I suppose so. Yeah, because I used to do quite a bit of cardio and quite a lot of weight. I do miss the weights a little bit. I'm being really naughty because I don't really do anything other than running. I know that's bad, and I need to do other strengthening work. But I just love running so much. If I've got time, I'd rather go for a run.
Yeah, I don't know what strengthening work is.
Yeah. No, I didn't do. I did actually download the Couch to 5K app.
Okay.
And I tried it. I'll tell you when I did that. Actually, I'd been running for about a year or so, and I'd got I think it was either when I had shin splints or when I had a mild groin strain. So I'd had a few weeks off. And I wanted to make sure that I went back into it gradually, because I've got a bad habit. It was like all or nothing. If I'm going to go out, I might as well just go out and run. And I kept saying to myself, just do a mile and see how you go. But that never happens with me. So I downloaded the Couch to 5K app just to see if that was the best thing for me. But I couldn't stand the voice telling me to stop running. I was like, no, I don't want to stop running. So that didn't last long.
Yeah, to be honest, it sounds like you were trying to be sensible and ease back in.
I was trying.
Yeah, and I get totally what you mean with that. I can't stand a voice saying stop here, go, stop there, go. I can't.
You kept telling me to stop running, and I was like, I don't want to stop running. I'm enjoying it. So yeah, it didn't last long.
No, exactly. I didn't do Couch 5K. I don't think I've said that to anyone here yet, but I never did that either. I just kind of went out and jogged around the field for months, and months. I just added more and more loops.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even go on the path. I wouldn't even go on the path anywhere else. It was during the work time as well. At one point, I used to stand in the grass, and one day I just went, I'm going on the path now. Just extending my routes. But that's interesting.
But it sounds like it's it sounds like it's really good for some people. I mean, you see a lot of people in the group talking about it, and it sounds like it's brilliant for those that are starting out.
It's fantastic. I know. Again, we haven't had someone on who's done it yet, but as you know, in the group, there's so many people who've done Couch to 5K and come through it and just absolutely love it and have carried on running. Yeah, it's good. I've had a play of the app. Of course, I've had a look at the app and different variations of the app, and I've got a plan as well. I've got the plan written out somewhere, and it's a slow start, and it needs to be that slow start, because if you get an injury, you're starting something. You could be doing it to lose weight, a bit of fitness for your mental health. You could be starting that 5K, but I do like the way it brings you onto it slowly, because if you start doing it, if you start going out and just I'll go for a run and you're a newbie to it, you get injured, you're in a worse place than where you were before.
And then I suppose it's just going to put them off, isn't it? If they're injured within the first few weeks, then they might not get back into it.
It'll put them off, and mentally they'll be like, well, what am I going to do now? Then you can get in a rut for weeks and weeks or months. So I think it plays a special part in that, definitely. Couch 5K app, 100%. So initially, so you started running because you literally saw someone else go out the door.
Yeah. And I just thought, I'm going to copy her.
And do you run with her?
No.
Or was it someone you didn't know? Was it a random you didn't know?
No, no, I knew her. She was another PA that works in the same office as me.
Okay.
And I didn't realise that she was a runner. She goes out and runs almost every evening. But no, it's just I've never actually ran with anybody else. I've always been a lone runner. And I kind of like it that way. I was a bit like that in the gym. If people, I mean, I'm sociable, don't get me wrong, but when I'm working out or when I'm running, it's kind of like it's my time to chill, to get over the stresses of the day. If you've had a stressful day, or if you're a bit peed off or whatever, it's just for me, it's my time. So even when I was in the gym, sometimes if people were chatting to me while I was on the treadmill, I'd be thinking, all right, go on, off you
go away, like that, do one.
Yeah. Kind of. And I know that's like I say, I'm a really social person, but my exercise time is my time.
Yeah, absolutely.
So basically I just copied her and then never went out with her.
You don't have battle of the PAs comparing PBs and stuff then.
There's one other that runs, so we do chat about it if we get together, which isn't very often because we're all different working from different offices and moving around and working from home and stuff. So we don't see each other that often, but so I don't get the chance to talk about running very often, which is why, or one of the reasons why the running community is just, I spend far too much time on it. I can't sit still for long usually, but when I'm sitting still, I'm looking at the Facebook page.
Yeah,
sorry about that. I was going to be at my door and I forgot to turn my phone on.
That's all right. Sound like Tinkerbell.
Yeah, I know. It's one of those newfangled cameras.
Oh yeah,
the doorbell with the camera. That's telling me somebody to walk past.
I like it.
Because I'm nosy. If it rings, it means somebody's walking down the street, so I can have a look, see who it is.
I like that. I haven't got a door. I've got cameras, but I haven't got a door ring. That's cool. But no, interesting. You touched on, like you say, the group's there. One of the main reasons why the group is there is because people can't turn up to running clubs, or they actually do want to run on their own. So it is another option for everyone. It's for everyone, but a lot of people come.
I've learned a lot. I've learned a hell of a lot because when you first start out, you don't know anything, do you? I didn't know anything about. I didn't know I needed, proper running trainers. There was loads of things I didn't know about. So yeah, I've learned a lot.
A lot of people come into it thinking they're going to ask a stupid question, but it's generally not a stupid question. If you're new to it, you're going to ask, and
there's no such thing as a stupid question, only a stupid answer. That's what I used to get told.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah,
I'm so going to turn my phone off. I do apologise. I have put it on silent, but you have to turn the notifications off. I should have thought about this beforehand, shouldn't I?
I should have told you. It doesn't
it's your fault.
It's my fault. You can blame me.
It's off now. It's because there'll probably be kids going up and down on the bike. That's what it is.
That's annoying. I was counting how many people went past then. Oh, brilliant. So how long is it you've actually been running then?
About 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah, about 3 years ago when I saw that girl go out for a run and decided I was going to do it.
Awesome.
So yeah, I took it up at the age of, I think it's just before I turned 49, so it's just over 3 years.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah, so a bit late in life, but I wish I'd done it years ago. Although I don't know if I'd have had the determination years ago though. I think as you get older, you just I think I've got more, a bit more determination now I'm older. Yeah,
maybe so. Maybe you're right on that. I mean, well, I'm 35, but even I say, I wish I did it when I was younger. I wish I was a teenager did it.
Yeah. Then would I have had time? See, this is the question. I don't know if I'd have had time years ago.
No,
I mean, raising 2 kids. I'm married now, but I raised my children, on my own until my youngest was about 11. So, when they were little, that's why I used to do yoga, because I'd put them to bed and I could do the yoga in the front room. I couldn't go anywhere to do it. So I probably would never have taken up running or going to the gym, because it would have been, there was nobody there to look after the kids. So
yeah, and some people buy a treadmill for that reason alone, actually, like to keep got the kids and so on.
Yeah, which is brilliant. And do you know what? I totally admire anybody that runs for a long time on a treadmill, because it's mind-numbingly boring for me. I can't bear it.
Yep.
Because I'm really nosy. So I'm dead nosy. So when I'm out running in the streets, I'm looking in people's gardens and in the house if I can see. Depends how quick I'm going. I'm like, oh, I like that.
Just for when your door chime goes off, when someone goes past, you're like, is it a runner?
Yeah. I'm in a cul-de-sac, so nobody ever runs past.
Oh. That could have been even better.
Yeah.
Okay, so 3 years you've been doing it, and obviously quite a bit of time in a gym beforehand, which is good. Wow, and no gym at all. You cancelled membership? Never.
No, nothing. I completely gave it up. I just thought, the day that I saw the girl running, I just thought, oh, that's a nice idea. It's fresh air, because you go into gyms are not fresh, are they? Let's face it.
No.
They're far from fresh. They're far from fresh. And the one I went to, because it was a bit of a sort of an old school gym, it was not the cleanest.
No. Cheap and cheerful.
It was cheap and cheerful, yeah, it really was. But I think for me though, it was more about the comfort. So I walked into, when I was looking at gyms, when I was interested in looking at them, I went into like a Virgin gym or something, and I just thought, it seemed full of people that, without meaning to sound horrible, it was full of posers.
Yeah.
And it was full of, people who were worried about how they looked. And when I went into the gym that I ended up, being a member of, it was nobody was looking at anybody. You could do anything you wanted there, and nobody took any notice. Nobody looked at you in a funny way. Everybody was dead friendly. Everybody was in there for their own goals and was encouraging about, other people's, rather than sort of, I don't know, I felt a little bit intimidated in the other ones. Maybe it's because it was full of, maybe younger people. I was carrying a bit of extra weight then as well, so probably not as confident as I am now. So,
No, it's interesting. Some of the people at work say about Virgin gyms, for example, the more expensive gyms, you get kind of characters like that in there, a bit posy, a bit looking at you, and so on. But
I mean, they were still in the gym that I went to. They were still there. Don't get me wrong, but just the atmosphere felt differently, I think.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, and I tried gym years ago. And fair play, by the way, to anyone who's doing gym. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, I loved it.
I hate it. But I tried it for about a month many years ago. It just wasn't for me. I was like, nope, not for me. Don't like it. Got bored.
Until I found running, I loved it. I went three or four times a week and loved it.
Yeah, it's interesting because we've had a lot of people during lockdown period. I said this on the other podcast. I'm sure people get bored of me saying it, but so many people have joined the group who were gym goers and started running.
Yeah.
Some did use Catch Car K, some didn't, but they absolutely love it now. And then
Yeah.
stayed in the group. Now gyms have open, they're still running, and that's brilliant.
Yeah, I think it's done a massive thing, hasn't it? Lockdown has done a massive thing for running. I'm wondering if when Park Run comes back, there's going to be, like, 100 or so more people than there ever was, because of all the extra people running.
I thought about that the other day. It'd be really interesting to see the figures of some of the local park runs, the big ones. Yeah, really interesting to see how many people turn up. I think it's going to be massive when that comes back. But I suppose it depends if it comes back under social distancing or not, in a way as well.
Won't it?
Yeah, because some people won't do it if it's under social. They'll wait until the time comes.
I suppose it depends on the route as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, 100%. It's just so different. Everywhere you go, the park run's different. The people are different. The rates ran is different.
Yeah, a guy that I know, he's put pictures on Strava of his park running. He goes through woods, so it would be quite difficult for him. Whereas my local park run is on a massive park, so it would be quite easy. But would people want to? Because I think some people go for the social part of it, don't they?
Exactly that. Exactly. Don't get me wrong. You can have a chat with your running friends and that, or whoever there at park run and that. But yeah, like you said, some people run side by side and have a good chat, and then will they say no, you can't do that, or can you do that? I hope it would be interesting. I hope it comes back ASAP for everyone. And I think a lot of people are missing it, but at the same time, you got to be careful, don't you?
Yeah.
Right. On to the next question. Where is your favourite place to run?
Do you know what, Mark? I don't have a favourite place to run. Just anywhere. I've got because I live in Northampton, but I work in Coventry.
Okay.
And I've always kind of been an after work runner, because I get up early to get to work. So running before work would have been, getting up at silly o'clock. And I admire people that do get up at silly o'clock to go for a run, but it wasn't for me. So I always go after work. So on the weekend, I'm running in my hometown, and during the week, or before lockdown anyway, I was running in Coventry where I work. And I don't get bored massively easy, but I can get a little bit bored if I'm doing the same route over and over again. And also for safety purposes as well, I don't think you should do the same route at the same time every day. So I started trying to, find different routes. So I don't actually have a favourite place particularly. I just I've got some routes that maybe I prefer a little bit more than others, because it might be that they start off a little bit downhill, so they give me a chance to warm up, whereas others start off uphill, so I'll have to try and warm up a little bit more beforehand. But no, I don't actually have a favourite place to run. As long as I'm running, I'm happy.
No, that's good. That's a fair enough answer. Yeah. And some people have said that to me as well. They don't have a favourite place. That's interesting. You might have in the future. You never know. Like I don't know. Have you run along a coastline before, or at all, or something like that? Or
yes, I have actually.
Okay.
I was on. Yeah, I went to Mauritius last November, and ran a couple. I only managed 3 runs in the 2 weeks because it was so ridiculously hot. But
I was going to say,
but 3 isn't better than nothing.
Yeah.
But I did run on the beach on one of the days. I came back from it. There was a storm actually, so we were sort of like chilling out in the morning, and then there was this massive storm. It wasn't a thunderstorm; it was literally just rain. It rained for a good couple of hours solid, and I was like, oh, perfect, I'm going for a run. Because if you run in the rain, then you're not too hot, right? So I left my husband on the beach, and I went and got my kit on and went for a run. And when I came back, he's not a runner, but he's so supportive. I'm really lucky.
That's decent.
He was like, yeah, just go. So I went for a run, I did about 5 miles. And when I came back, I just thought, I haven't finished yet. It's still raining, it's still lush. So I did go for a little run along the beach. But I think you've got to be careful running on sand, haven't you? You've got to judge what sort of sand you're running on.
Yeah, that's different. I suppose I was talking about like Worthing or Brighton or something down there where you just on the concrete path.
Oh, you mean like saying, a cliff top and with a nice sea view or something.
But obviously Mauritius is a bit different in that respect. Well, I have run on sand. Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Just
really hard. Really hard running on sand. Well, yeah.
Yeah, really I ran in the wet sand and it wasn't too bad. My feet were wet anyway, so it didn't really matter. But so I'm not. No. So I have sort of run near the beach. I get what you mean now. I just went all oh yeah, I've been to Mauritius, didn't I? And you're thinking, you know, a nice scenic route along near a beach or something.
No, now I know where your favourite place to run is. That's it.
Mauritius, yeah.
That's awesome.
All the locals were like, morning, looking at me like I was bonkers.
Was there any other runners?
I thought, well, do you know what? It's funny because the hotel that was just sort of down the road from us was like one of those wellness places.
Yeah.
So I did see a couple of people out running, but it was really hot, so it was quite difficult. I did a couple of really early morning ones, and then the one in the rain.
No, that makes sense. What was the temperature, do you think, there?
Oh God, I can't remember. It was in the 30s.
Oh yeah, easily, I'll bet.
Yeah. I mean, even at night, it doesn't get much lower than sort of about 20. I would say 23, 24 at night. So even if I got up at like 6 o'clock one morning and went out for one, and it was already about 24, 25 degrees. It was already very warm.
Yeah, not easy.
No.
Not easy running than that.
No.
But no, fair play to you. And is there something that keeps you motivated to run?
No, I think I'm quite good at just sort of kicking myself up the jacksie, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Right. You know, even on those days when I don't feel like doing it, I'm quite good at just going, come on, I'll have a little word with myself and get myself out. But a lot of, I don't know about motivation, but a lot of inspiration comes from the group, the people in the group that will post about, you know, that they're struggling, but they still got out there and done it. And that sort of thing really keeps me going. Because I think it's anybody who doesn't run doesn't quite understand what it does to you, how it makes you feel. And maybe that's part of the motivation, is just how I know it's going to make me feel afterwards. Even on those runs where I get, you know, a couple of miles and think, geez, what am I doing? you in your head, I'm constantly going, you know, he's going to feel great when you finished. Even if it's a crap run now, you'll have a good one in it. You know, the next one will be great or something. So I don't know if there's actually any specific thing that keeps me motivated. I think it's just because I love it and I love the way it makes me feel before, during, and after, most of the time.
No, that makes complete sense. And it's interesting you said about people who don't run don't understand it, and it's so true. Quite a lot of people go to get the post up and they say, I'm posting this in the group because no one else understands. And they won't.
No, they won't. They won't. When I did my first half marathon distance this year during lockdown, I posted it on both pages, and the difference in the reaction was just phenomenal. I won't bother him on our Facebook page anymore. Nobody takes any notice.
I never post. I rarely. Sometimes
I don't anymore.
My kids. I rarely post my private page, like my favourite wall, whatever you want to call it now. Rarely. Never running stuff.
I read through it. Yeah.
I think I posted up once about the running community. I was like, I don't care. People know what I'm doing now. People know what I'm doing now. If they really want to find out, they can speak to me. So, no, that's interesting. It's interesting. And like you say, the group motivation to go out for a run is immense. Absolutely immense. You wake up in the morning sometimes, I do, and I see it, or in the evening when I finish work and see all the posts that have come through, and it's like it always gives you a kick up the bum as well, doesn't it, to get out? It
can do, on days when I'm not quite feeling it, maybe I'll see that somebody was feeling worse than me and they still got out and done it, and I'm like, right, come on, no.
No, it really does help. And I think you've kind of said who inspires you to run. You kind of said the group. Is there anyone else who does, or just purely yourself and the group?
No, there isn't. No, I'd like to say that, you know, I'm inspired by some amazing athlete or something. But and not being cheesy, it is the group that inspires me, definitely.
No, it's definitely not cheesy. Definitely not cheesy. That's why we're here. We're here because that group. No, it's interesting because running got massive after 2012 Olympics as well. So a lot of people come out and say Jessica Ennis is my kind of inspiration, or Mo Farah, or whoever, you know. So it's interesting.
I can understand that, because I was watching that on one of the machines. That was when I was at the gym, and I remember watching it on one of the machines. Had a screen with a TV on it, and I watched the Olympics while I was working out, and watching those people, the things that they do, that did make me work harder. I broke one of the machines actually because I was like, right, I'm going to do this. If they could do it, so can I. And I broke one of the machines.
Did you? Brilliant.
Didn't tell anybody, just got off. I was like, whoops, just got off and went on another one.
Just slowly walk away.
Yeah, nobody saw it. Didn't
Nothing's
happen.
happened here. that poor, cheap and cheerful gym you had to make out pay for a machine.
That's why nothing ever works, because people would break them and then just walk away and not say anything.
Races. Have you done some races? And if so, what is your favourite?
I've never raced. I've never entered a race. No, because when I started, it was just for me. It was just to keep fit and to feel good and to stay healthy. And it wasn't until I joined the group because it just didn't occur to me. I didn't even think about racing, because I think the word race automatically makes you think you've got to go quick.
Yeah.
I think that it's the word race that perhaps does it. And so it wasn't even ever on my mind. And then when I joined the group and saw all these things going on, I think I kind of built a bit of confidence and then realised that, okay, I wasn't too bad, because you see people's posts and then you can not compare, because we shouldn't compare each other, but I could look and think, okay, well, I know now, because I didn't know what was good, what was bad, what was fast, what was slow, what was, because I had nobody else to compare with. So seeing everybody else's posts, I would think, okay, well, yeah, I am a fairly okay runner,
Yeah.
Not that being slow or being quick is any different.
No, everyone's different.
Yeah, but because I've got this thing in my head as well, it's a race, so I've got to, be quite good. And I know some of them have cut-offs as well, don't they? So I suppose you've got to take that into account. Some of them have cut-off times, don't they?
Yeah. Do you know what? I might. Sorry, go carry on.
So it was never on my mind until after I'd been on the group for a little while. And then last September, it was my husband's 60th birthday party, and one of his friends, my husband was like, oh, he runs, and was chatting to him. He said, oh, the missus runs. And he said, oh, are you running tomorrow? And I just thought he meant, are you going for a run? I was like, no, I ran this morning. Didn't think anything of it until my husband said, no, actually, he runs, does a lot of actual races, and it's the Northampton half marathon tomorrow. I went, oh, okay, I didn't realise. So then I realised that my hometown does a half marathon, and I was like, okay, that's interesting. So I had a look, and then earlier this year I started thinking, I think I could probably do that distance, because I hadn't, I never was worried about how far I'd been or how long it took me. I just went out and went for a run. Yeah. But then, being in the group and seeing all these people's posts and things, I thought maybe I could give it a go. So I was going to apply or register or whatever it is for the Northampton half marathon. Then lockdown happened, and I thought, well, we don't know what's going to happen, so I didn't bother. And funnily enough, I looked at it a couple of days ago to see if it was still going to be on, because it's in September, it's the end of September, and it just says registration is closed. It doesn't say whether it's going ahead or not. So even if it is going ahead, I'm too late.
Oh no.
I know.
Would you want your first? Look, I should probably change this to favourite event, actually, because you're right. I totally get when you said race. It feels a bit more intimidating than it. Yeah,
it's just the word race. Yeah, it's just the word race.
I might actually change that myself, because I think that's right to be favourite event.
I think it's why maybe that's why parkrun brings more people in of different abilities, because it is parkrun. It's not a race.
No, and you've got everyone there. Some people go there to beat their PB time, and most people don't. They go there to enjoy the run. So you've got a mixture of both people, and it all works smoothly and well. No, you've given me an idea for that. Yeah, favorite event.
I do. Yeah, but hopefully once things are back up and running, I'd like to. Just to see if I might not like it, but you don't know till you try it, do you?
You don't know until you try it. And I was going to say, in a way, do you want your first event to be potentially a social distance event as well, because that will make a massive difference as well. I think so anyway. I don't know.
I think it probably would. It would spoil it a little bit, maybe spoil the atmosphere.
Yeah, exactly that. And again, I've said this many times on the podcast. I was meant to do London Marathon this year. Was it meant to be April? Got postponed to October, and they're still hanging around trying to do something.
Yet, have they?
They've been. I love them to bits. And I understand there's a massive amount of organisation that goes into that event and so on. But I can see people are starting to get wound up now. But back in April, they sent an email out and said, what are you doing, kind of thing? Are you deferring, or are you going to try and do October? And I thought about it, and it's a bucket list event basically.
Yeah.
And I thought, no, I'm deferring because it's a bucket list race. I want the atmosphere that should be at the London Marathon. I don't want half-hearted. I don't want a quarter of the spectators turning up or less people starting at the same time. It's split up, and I just thought, no, I'm deferring it. You know, do it next year.
Don't blame me. I think I'd probably be the same.
Yeah, and I was meant to do Great North Run, and that's another one that did get cancelled, but that meant to be amazing atmosphere, and I'll do it next year. I'm not in a rush.
No,
really, I think. But no, it's interesting. You haven't done any events. As you know, I don't know if you know, Wendy Britton, our moderator. Obviously, you know who that is. She hasn't done any races either,
no.
which is strange. I think a lot of people presume she has, but she hasn't. But she's keen to do them, and she will do them again when the social distancing stuff goes away. So no, you're not the only one who hasn't done an event yet. So. Can you see I'm saying event instead of race now? Say again, sorry.
Fingers crossed for next year.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Fingers crossed for next year. No, absolutely. Now, distance-wise, have you got a favourite distance you like to run?
Probably 10K, because almost all my runs now are around sort of 5 or 6 miles. That's what I'm comfortable with. So I would say probably 10K. Yeah.
Okay, 10K.
Yeah,
that's good. And do you do any trail running at all, or road?
I don't think so. I'm mostly road, mostly because where I live and also where I work, it's all roads and streets. I mean, there's little parks, but and actually, it's funny because I have done. So I've run around a local reservoir, but it's mostly like a gravel path, so I don't know whether that counts as trail.
That could be mixed terrain.
But gravel isn't really great to run on, is it? It's not that nice.
No, it's horrible actually.
Yeah, it can be a bit slippy as well. And then I've discovered a few weeks ago another lake. Well, it's not really a lake. It's like a water. What do you call it? It's like a flood grounds, if you like, floodplain. That's the word I was looking for.
Oh yeah.
But there's a permanent, like a bit of a lake there, and it's about 2.5 miles around it. But to get there, it's about 2.5, probably about 2.5 miles for me to get there. So I can go down, have a run around, and then go home. So that's a mix of the both. But it's a bit. I'm not a lover of running off road. I know that it's better for you. Apparently,
it can be in certain aspects.
Yeah. Even if I'm running in the park, I tend to stick to the paths, because I'm always wary that I'm then concentrating on the grass that I'm running on in case of any dips or anything. You know, no, my luck, I'd fall in a hole or something that wasn't that visible.
Yeah, I feel like you could twist your ankle more easily on a trail one. I love a bit of both. I'm more road, much more road than trail. But I do like sometimes going off the trail. And when I say go off the trail, I get lost quite a lot. So I try and
I do that. I did that a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, did you? Tell us.
I've lived in this town for 52 years, and I found a field that I never knew existed, and I had no idea where I was, and I had to get Google Maps out to get me out of this bloody field. I'm like, well, I was only about 3 miles away from home.
You put a post up about that, didn't you? I think.
I did.
Yeah, I think I did. I had a giggle at that. Wait, you can laugh at me now because I went out for a run this morning. I did a 7-mile run.
Yeah.
And I looked on Plot a Route, and I found a cut-off bit where I could cut through to another road. I thought, oh, I've never been there. I'll try that. And you do go off-road and through a gate and something else.
Yeah, and it never looks the same, does it?
No. And
no.
I was looking for the sign saying public footpath or something to help me, you know. And I went down the road and up this massive house of horse stables, and there was a lady out. I presume she's a house owner. I don't know. And I said to her, good morning. I said, look, I'm a bit lost. I need to know how to get to this certain street name. And she said, well, you can't come here. This isn't a public footpath. So I was...
Oh, God.
This was this morning, honestly. I was like, I know. I said, that's why I said good morning. And that's why I'm asking you where do I go to get to this street?
Yeah.
She says, well, you can go that way to get there or that way to get there, but you mustn't come onto the next. The actual bit I was on was public footpath. She's warning me about her house bit. I was like, wow. I actually just turned my back and just ran back to where I came from.
Maybe she wasn't a morning person.
No, I don't know. I can understand you get a bit weary if it's your house and that, but God, I couldn't have been more polite. And it happens. I know it happens.
Yeah.
And I found these other two ladies walking their dogs coming the other way. So I asked them, and they explained to me where to go. Perfect spot on. I said, yeah, I spoke to the lady down there. You know, I don't think she's too happy to see me. She goes, well, I do know her. She's a friend of mine. She said, don't worry. When I first moved here, she did the same with me as well.
Hate you till she gets to know you.
Yeah, it was a fun bit of my run, that, but yeah. Well, yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
Now, are there, obviously you've got events probably as a future goal, but are there any other goals in your head you want to do running wise?
Yeah, so I did my first half marathon distance in April this year, because I don't know, I just thought, I think the longest I'd gone before that was 10 miles.
Okay.
And then one day I was like, well, it's only another 3 miles. I'm pretty sure I could probably do it. So I got it in my head that I was going to do it, and I did it, and I found it I was okay until mile 12, and then my legs just went really heavy. But I think I just hadn't really maybe hydrated enough. I don't know. But so I've decided I'm probably going to do another one this month. Now I've said it, I've got to do it, because it was only in my head, but now I've said it out loud. That means I've got to do it, right? So yeah, I'm probably going to do another. I'm not going to attempt it because I'm going to do it, whether it takes me a bit long or not. But yeah, so I'm going to do another half marathon distance this month, and then hopefully, fingers crossed. Yeah, like we said, you know, maybe I think my future goal is to actually enter a race.
Yeah, 100%. Well, congratulations for getting to half marathon distance. That's really good.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're going to have to definitely do it now because it's going out on the podcast and Facebook.
Exactly, I know.
And the group are going to know about it as well now.
I've said it. Yeah, I've got witnesses, haven't I?
What did your legs got heavy in the last mile when you did that distance? Do you think it was you didn't eat something, or just pure tiredness of the legs where you hadn't done the distance before? Do you think there's anything that triggered it for you, or?
I don't really know. So I'd thought about what was going to eat. So I had 2 bowls of porridge and a banana before I went out. I'd got some little like jelly sweets with caffeine in them. I think they're high five ones instead of gels.
Oh yeah.
I'd gone for like these jelly sweets. And I've got some jelly babies as well with me. And I've got some water. So I'm thinking maybe I shouldn't have had water. Maybe I should have had something, you know, like a electrolyte or something, a drink or something, rather than water. I don't know. I googled when I got back. I was like, why did my legs go heavy? Because I was still moving them fine. They were still moving the same as they had done for the previous 12 miles, but they just felt really heavy. As soon as I stopped running, they were fine. But everything else felt absolutely fine. I had plenty of energy, and I was still, you know, my breathing was fine. I was feeling absolutely brilliant, and obviously elated because I'd done it as well, punching the air. And, yeah. soon as Strava said to me, you got to 13 miles, I just went, yes.
Yes. No, I mean, it's an impossible question to answer, really, what I said, because you'll never know. But you'll learn over time. The more you run that distance, you'll soon learn yourself, and everyone's different. You know, some people get too hot, some people cramp up. Anything can happen. So but no, it's good, and you'll learn, and it'd be interesting to see that happens again on your next one, but it might not. So that's good. That's good.
Well, you soon find out, because I'm definitely doing it now, aren't I?
You are definitely doing it. Absolutely no excuse. What we were in August, but yeah, if it gets to the end of August and you ain't done it, that's it. It's going out in the group.
Got plenty of time.
We touched on it a little bit, but what do you like most about being part of the running community group?
Oh, everything. It just there's some amazing people. Mark, you've done a massively brilliant job at creating this community. I mean, you know, hands up to you, because you started it all. And the people are just, I mean, how fantastic are the people? You've got thousands of people in this group, and everybody's amazing. So, I mean, there's not like, what do I like most about being part? Just being part of it. Just being part of it. Because when you've got no friends that run, and nobody else really, you know, that you can talk to about running? Because we're not running about it. I mean, let's face it, we run. We want to, even if we've only done a couple of miles. I shouldn't say only done a couple of miles, because 2 miles is you know, you'll run 2 miles. But even if you've done what you consider a short run, maybe, you still want to talk about it. You want to say to somebody, oh, I felt, you know, my legs was a bit funny, or my breathing, couldn't get my breathing right, or because they're always, every run is different, isn't it? We all feel something or get something different every run that we do.
Yeah, and
so,
I love the honesty on the group, because someone will have a crap day and they'll say it was a.
Yeah.
Some people come in and say it's a crap run, and I say you never have a crap run. You might have a run that weren't so good energy wise, didn't feel it, but you still got out there and did it, and you'll still feel great doing it afterwards. But
and I love that people feel comfortable enough to be able to put things on there about how they're feeling, particularly about their mental health, that they might not be able to talk to anybody else about. And it must be such a powerful thing for them to be able to put that, and to get all of the positive comments that they get. You know, you've got people that have said, you know, that the you know, the I don't know, the black dog, I think they call it the black dog, or the black cloud is in my head today, and I really don't know if I want to do this. And then you'll get people that will give them encouragement, or they'll say that they were feeling that, but they still went out and did it. And just, you know, people's comments, just this community is just, it's just bloody brilliant, aren't they? Let's face it, they are just bloody brilliant. And that you can put things on there that you would never probably say to even your best friends. Like, you get loads of people, I mean, Wendy's famous for little Bertie, and I would never have dreamt of even saying to my friends, oh, I was going for a run and I really needed to go to the loo. Probably wouldn't. Well, I probably would, but they don't talk to me about running. So, you know, and then so you get people talking about all sorts of things on there that they don't feel embarrassed, and they shouldn't feel embarrassed, because it's all, we want to talk about running. And if you need to know these things, why go to Google and get loads of stupid, you know, answers, when you can ask people that are actually probably going through the same thing?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's where the mixture of beginners coming into the group and experienced runners into the group really does well, because everyone can help each other out. If you're a beginner, you're still spurring on that experienced runner, and vice versa for advice. And obviously we have that. We have John White in there, who's a sports therapist, who really helps out with a lot of people when they have injuries and niggles and so on. Yeah. But no, it's funny you mentioned about Wendy's Bertie, because well, good for her. When she does a big event, they have portaloos along the route.
She's going to need it.
So for that reason alone, she'll be happy about that, won't she?
Bertie will be happy. Yeah.
But it's a good example to say we can chat about anything. And you touched on mental health, which I really love touching on that in a way, because some people have posted up, not necessarily running related. They run, but they've come in and had to get something off their shoulders mentally. And some posts have gone up, unrunning related, but to help their mental health. And I'll always welcome that, because the support is still there, you know. I think that's really important. And so many people still help with that, so I always encourage it. We had the odd few saying, oh, why'd you that's all right, why'd you let the odd post through like that? I said, well, it's important to be open as well, and you know, you can't just rule it out.
We're all there for each other, aren't we? We're there to support each other, whether 100%. It be about running or not. 100%. 100%, definitely.
No, and long may it grow and continue.
Yes. And all the tips and the hints and stuff that you get as well. I mean, like I say, when I first joined the group, I was still wearing the same crappy Nike shoes that I'd been running, that I'd been going to the gym in. So just, you know, they were 40 quid Nikes, and I ran in them for 2 years. And I only got proper running shoes for Christmas. So I'd been running for 2.5 years in these crappy old Nikes.
Did you go for a gait analysis or anything like that, or you shopped yourself online? Or tell us about that.
I did, yeah. So and I didn't even know that was a thing. That's another thing that I learned from the community. I didn't even know that was a thing, that you should get your gait analysis to see how you run, because obviously we're all different.
Yes.
So yeah, my husband was buying me a pair of running shoes for Christmas. So I said to him, well, I need to make sure I get the right ones for my feet for the way I run. So I found a local shop that did the gait analysis and went there and got that done. That was interesting, running on the treadmill while they film you, because the guy. So I tried a couple of pairs, and on the last time when I was running on it, just to try them out to see if it was all right, he'd actually said to me, "It's okay, you can stop now," but I didn't hear him, so I'm having a right little, I'll stay here and do a bit more.
That's interesting. I always say this to people as I don't know if I can call it a tip or not, because I don't know if all running shops will allow this, but I haven't advocated this for years. Got it done years ago. But if I go into a running shop and they do a gait analysis and they bring out, I don't know, 4 pairs of shoes, 2 pairs of shoes to try on, I will ask to go outside and run in them as well. And I can understand the shopkeeper might think you're going to do a run or whatever, but you generally have cameras up for that anyway, because it's good to go and do a gait analysis on a treadmill with the trainers on. But if you're like yourself, you're going to get on the road or pavement. Even if I'm talking about a few minutes outside the shop, just go and run in that direction.
Kind of run, isn't it?
Yeah. I always tell people to try and do that if they can, because I don't think many people do.
No.
It's years ago I thought of that. I just thought, no, I need to try these outside.
And I do want some more now. So I've been I've been trying to do a bit of research into what sort would be best for me, because I've got wide feet.
Okay.
So I'm upset by the fact that wide fitting don't have as many colours as the normal ones. That's not fair, is it?
It's not fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, and often people with wider feet tell me they're out of stock half the bleeding time as well. So
yeah. And I'm a bit wary about getting them online. I've got some in mind, but I'm a bit wary about getting them online, because I know you can try them and send them back, but I'd rather perhaps go to the shop and try them on and see how they feel.
Yeah, I think probably it's better to go to a shop, especially if it's a wide fit as well. And they can get them in stock for you if you want them, and they can always send it back, or they can put them back and sell to someone else.
Just not in the colour that I want.
Not in the colour you want. That's important. That's really.
I was gutted when I had it done at Christmas. Then it was my first pair of proper running shoes, so I was quite excited about the fact that all of a sudden I'm a proper runner now, because I've got proper running shoes. And then he was showing me online all the different sorts, and then said, but you need wide ones, and you can only get them in these 2 colours, black or like a bluey purple. And I was like, really? Obviously red and orange are probably my favourite colours, as you can see, and I had to get blue trainers.
You come up with a spray can and spray the colour for you, so I don't know. That's interesting. You said about online as well. Yeah, buying shoes. Funny enough, some companies do that thing where you can buy online, you can try them for a certain amount of time and send them back. I feel like it's only some websites have had it for a while, but others that's only just started to kick in, really. Some were like, you can't try. If you tried them, that's it. You don't get to send them back. But I think Brooks have 60 days. You can try them, and if you're not happy with them, 60 days, send them back. I think Nike is 30 days or something like that. So I'm pleased that's happened in a way. It is important to go to your local running shop. Of course it is, and support them. 100% get that.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm also pleased in a way online is kind of taking that on board, that people need to try them as well, and if they're not good.
And I know lots of people in the group will ask what sort of trainers are the best, and it's great to take opinions on board, but you've got to remember that everybody's feet are different, everybody's running style is different.
Absolutely.
So what's perfect for one person isn't going to be perfect for somebody else.
Yeah, 100%. And luckily, when that question comes up in the group, most people will say you need to go and get a gait analysis done.
Yeah, they do. A lot of people. Yeah, which is how I found out about it.
Yeah, exactly like you said, sorry. Yeah, like you said.
I was like, gait analysis. What's that?
Yeah, what the hell's that? Google.
Every day's a school day.
Yes. But no, don't just pick I like that colour. Only when you know what you want, then you can be fussy. Annoyingly, I haven't got a pair of red. There's a bit of red, but I haven't got a.
Oh yeah, like that one.
I think I used to have some red ones, but God knows where they've gone. Got too many. Okay, so another question to bring up: do you know your PBs? I know you're not too fussed about them, but do you know what they are?
I wrote them down, Mark, because I knew that I wouldn't remember them.
I've got
one little sticky note.
Like everyone else.
Yeah. So I don't know what my 1 mile is. I know it's 8 minutes and something, but I can't remember. I couldn't find it on Strava.
Wow.
But my 5K is 27 minutes 38 seconds.
Brilliant.
My 10K is 56:16. and my one and only half marathon distance was 2 hours 9 minutes 18 seconds, which I was really happy about because I thought it would take me a lot longer than that.
That's fantastic for your first half as well. No, well done. That's really good. Really good. Now,
at least I know I'll be all right with the 3 hour cut-off if I ever do.
Oh yeah, I should have touched on that a bit when you said earlier, actually. So I don't know what quite happened at London Marathon last year, because I think they got a 7 hour pacer on board with them, and there was a 7 hour pacer, but then footage started to go up. I don't know if it's the pacer to footage someone else. Cleaners started coming around, cleaning up the whole course, but even across the course and stuff. So people are still trying to run, and the crowds have gone, but they're taking all the barriers away and all the cones away and all the water away. It's like,
it is a shame, isn't it?
Wow, I remember that as a big thing last year, and luckily, not just our running community, but the whole running community worldwide noticed it and did something about it. And now I think London have changed their stance on that, from what I've read. But the last finish is there. The last finish is there. They've got to stay and kind of leave it out until it's done. Obviously, you can't go to the next day, but London's got to reopen
at some point, haven't they? But
I can't remember what marathon it was in my head. But now, big major events, they had a whole firework display for the last person to cross the line.
Oh wow!
I can't remember. I have to try and find it. I'll tell you it. But they had a whole firework display.
That's nice.
That's really nice. It's really nice. It's just respect for everyone, isn't it? It's respect for everyone.
Yeah.
And that's important. That's really important. But no, it's good to touch on it as well. Do you listen to any music while you run?
Yes, I do. Yeah. I don't know if I'd be able to run without it. But it's funny because I always used to. So I did myself a playlist. I worked out what beats per minute I needed to suit my steps.
Okay.
And then created myself a little playlist. But then after about a year or so, my pace changed. I think I was getting a little bit quicker, and then I've got a bit of a dodgy hamstring on my right side. I've always got a tiny bit of a niggle in my back leg. So I reduced my pace a little bit, reduced my stride, sorry. So I take smaller steps, and I've actually worked out that if I do that, I go quicker. I don't know how that works, but I do actually go quicker.
I'll try and touch on that bit. Obviously, I'm not an expert. You're using less energy because you're taking more and more steps. You're actually using less energy in each step you do, basically, from what I remember rightly. Go on, carry on.
So the playlist that used to help me keep my pace, then didn't really work because I was going at a different pace. So I stopped worrying about that. I don't really take any notice of that now. So as long as I like the music, it's in my playlist. But I tend to find that I could be running for an hour, and if you ask me any song, I'll just listen to it. I wouldn't know. It's almost like it's background, and I'm not taking a lot of notice of it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I haven't tried a podcast yet. I do a lot of walking in between my running. So on days that I don't run, I'll always go for a long walk. And I do listen to podcasts on my walks, but I haven't tried one on a run yet. I think I'd probably miss most of it because my brain starts wandering. I'm thinking about, I don't know, work I try not to think about work because it's for chilling out, isn't it? But I'll be thinking about other stuff.
I'm glad you mentioned that because not many people do speak about that. I'm the same. I do listen to music and podcasts, but your mind goes completely somewhere else. I will not know what songs have played sometimes.
No.
It's a good thing as well.
Yeah.
It takes your mind totally off everything.
Because I'm clearing my mind. That's one of the things. One of the things that I love about running is it helps clear my mind if I've got lots of stuff going on.
Yeah, and some podcasts I've reran. I've gone back and listened to them again because I just can't remember parts of it.
No, I do it even when I'm walking. Sometimes I'll rewind it because I'll be thinking of something and I'm like, oh, I haven't been listening for the last 10 minutes, so I'll have to rewind it. Yeah,
but it's nice because your brain goes to this other zone, goes off in the clouds or whatever.
And I only have it on. Yeah, and I always have it on quietly so that I can still hear my surroundings anyway.
No.
And I've got my aftershocks now. I watched your review on.
Yeah,
I've got the aftershocks for my birthday recently.
Oh yeah, my Aeropex review. Yes.
Yeah. I watched that and I just thought they're perfect for me. Yeah, because I don't want it to be loud. I want to be able to hear. I've always just used my Apple because normal earphones always fall out of my ears. The Apple ones were perfect, but I didn't want to spend loads of money on Apple. Bluetooth, the Bluetooth ones.
Yeah, £200,
It's ridiculous, isn't it? So
It's
and
crazy.
the Aeropex ones, and obviously they're waterproof as well, the Aeropex ones that I've got. So
Yes.
I can, yeah, even if it's pouring down rain, because the first thing I do if it's pouring down the rain, I'll have to take my earphones out and tuck them away somewhere. I won't need to do that now. I'll be able to listen to my music while I'm running in the rain.
Yeah, and I don't know if I touched it in the review. They were Aeropex, and they're Aftershok's latest running ones, but it was the titanium Treks before them, and I think they're like 60 or 70 quid now. And I still recommend them.
I've just bought a pair for my husband.
Oh, did you? Yeah, I still
treated
recommend
him.
them.
Yeah, he goes for a walk. He can't run because he's got a dodgy knee, but he walks every day. He goes for about 4 or 5 miles every day. So I bought him a pair of the titanium Treks ones as a little present the other day, so that he could, because he always listens to music while he's walking.
That's really nice. 4 to 5 miles walking is decent. Wow.
He treats me, so I've got to treat him back, haven't I?
Yeah, fair play to you. But no, the cheaper ones, it's just because it's an older version. I think the only big difference I found, the sound's a bit louder on Aeropex, which sometimes, funny enough, it doesn't really matter on music, but it's more with podcasts, funny enough. And I try to make sure my podcast levels turn up quite high, so hopefully it is. No one's moaned yet. But there are some podcasts I listen to and the volume was a little bit too low, so they kind of help with that.
His tracks are louder. They're definitely louder than my Aeropex ones.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, right. Okay, that's weird.
I think so. Yeah. I don't know whether it's because the bit that sits here is bigger, so I think it's sort of closer to you. I don't know. I put it on the other day, and it's definitely louder than mine.
That's interesting. I've got the opposite to that, but
okay.
But
the thing is,
you're right.
Probably depends on the shape of your head as well, because because it like if I pull the back up a little bit, they sit sort of closer because I've got quite a small head, so I don't get as good sound as my husband does because his head is wider than mine, so they sit a bit tighter. So
where it sits on the conductor, you're right. Different shaped heads make a big difference in that as well. Have you tried ever, not necessarily in a run, because the idea of Aftershokks is you can hear your surroundings as well, and vehicles and people and so on. But they do come with the earplugs. And have you tried putting them in before?
I haven't tried them yet. No.
Oh, you'll be surprised how loud it is then.
I'll probably try it when I go for a walk. I'm gonna go for a walk later, so I might try it. Yeah, I'll try it tonight.
Give it a go. You'll be honestly, you'll put them in, you'll be like, oh wow, this is loud. That's what I expect to say. So do it. I don't do it anymore. I just wanted to do it to see. So So Christmas time, you've got a new pair of running shoes, and what were they?
Brooks Ghost 12.
Oh, classic.
Which I know a lot of people go for. You know what? I'm really annoyed with my memory sometimes, because I tried on another pair. So you bought 2 pairs out that you thought would be good for me. One was the Brooks, and there was another pair, and I can't for the life of me remember what they were, but they just didn't quite feel as good as the Brooks.
No,
and
fair enough.
I wish I could remember what they were, because I'd make sure that I avoid them the next time. I can't remember.
You can't remember. No, that's
but the Brooks are great. Yeah.
Oh, good. And do you know any miles you've done in them? Don't worry if you don't know.
I don't know what I've done so far. My average monthly mileage is probably about 85, 90 miles, and I've had them since, I've had them since just before Christmas. So.
Oh, fair enough. No, they're still going strong.
Was never my strong point, so don't ask me to work that one out.
I'm not adding that up. I'm moving on.
Moving on quickly.
Let me get I could get my calculator out. I could use Google, but I'm not. We'll just leave it at that. Running watch wise, what do you have? It's going to be Garmin.
I don't have one.
Oh yes.
I don't have one.
Good.
I don't want one, to be honest.
I'll take the words back.
I know. I had a Fitbit, or Shitbit, I ended up calling it.
Yeah.
I had 3, and they're rubbish. That
broke. They did sell them.
Yeah, it broke literally just before Christmas, and had it broke before I got my trainers, I might have had a watch instead. But because I always take my phone when I run, mostly for safety purposes, not necessarily for my music, but mostly because I always think, what if I get lost? What if I fall and hurt myself, or something happens, God forbid, but something happens and I need to ring somebody? I always take my phone with me. So for me, the only other thing a watch is going to do, because it would tell me, how fast I got, what my pace was, how far, etc. And perhaps for my music. The only other thing really would be heart rate. And I've seen lots of really interesting posts about heart rate training recently, and I am quite interested in that, but it would mean getting a watch, and I don't necessarily think that I need one, so I'm just, I'm not too fussed about it.
No, so they have the optical sensor on the back for heart rate. I'm trying to get my watch off while I say this.
Yeah.
Well, everyone knows about this story, but they have the optical sensor on the back.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're rubbish.
Yeah.
I think they're absolutely pants. For me, some people say they work well, but for me, I've done a bit of heart rate training in the past, and I have to wear a chest strap to get accuracy, because this is just all over the place with heart rate.
Yeah.
I don't find it good at all. I find it useless.
No.
And
I probably won't. Yeah, I probably won't bother much about the kind of heart rate part of it. So, no, not a massive deal. And I used to get a little bit too obsessed about how much sleep I'd had when I had a Fitbit as well. I'd check it every morning. I'd be like, oh my God, I only had 4 hours sleep last night. I was getting, it's ridiculous. I was like, I don't need to worry about things like that, because having a watch tell me that I've only had 4 hours sleep isn't going to make anything. It's not going to make me feel any better. It's not going to improve my sleep and make me do anything different. So I really don't. The only thing I miss my Fitbit for is being able to tell me what time it is. That's it.
Yeah,
and I've got a watch for that. I've got a normal watch. So
yes, that's true. I don't record all my runs. And people will be pretty surprised to hear that. I don't record all my runs. Some of them I do, some of them I don't.
Yeah.
I've got the watch, yes, but I don't look at it that much.
No. And I used to fiddle with it all the time. It was always, I'd get really sweaty arms, so it would all be sliding down, and I'd have to keep pushing it back up again. I think that's why it broke, because I just kept forcing it back up my arm. Yeah,
there's so many stats you can get for it, and fair play to anyone who loves the stats and that. Then continue with doing. Everyone's different in what they like and what they.
Yeah, of course. If people like them, then that's fine. But I tell you, I have seen a few people put in screenshots of their Garmin that's told them that their run was unproductive. Yeah, and I think I'd be kind of like, are you what? I went for a run. I don't care whether it was productive or not. Get it? I wouldn't like my watch telling me I was unproductive.
So people again might disagree with me on this, but fair enough if you do. So it's using your heart rate, that sensor what I've just showed you on the screen. Sorry, people on podcasts can't see on the screen. The heart rate sensor, it's using that, and it's not accurate. So how does it know if you're unproductive or productive or not? Yeah. I will never listen to that stuff that comes up.
And no run's unproductive, is it? No run is ever unproductive.
No, don't get me wrong. You can overdo it. It's trying to sense that you can overdo it, and it'll tell you that's where you're being unproductive, and it's trying to guess that. But if your heart rate don't work correctly,
and if people are into the stats and that's what they want to know, then that's absolutely fine. It's just not for me. I'm not overly fussed about the stats. No, I've got Strava on my phone, and that tells me how far and what my pace was and how long it took me, and that's probably all I'm really interested in. So for me, don't need one.
Simplicity.
Yes.
Sometimes. Yeah, absolutely. Now I'll ask this question, and I think I've confused a few people. I'm not going to ask what food you enjoy the most for running fuel. What is your actual naughty favourite food? Anything
my husband cooks. My husband is such a good cook.
Really?
Yeah. He loves cooking, and he's really good at it. And I'm really lucky because he cooks. I never cook. My husband does all the cooking.
Wow.
So anything. But mostly spicy food. I love spicy food. My husband's heritage, his background is from Bangladesh. His father was from Bangladesh. So authentic curries in my house. I'm not complaining. Yeah.
I'm jealous of you. I'll be living the dream. Honestly.
He's downstairs cooking my dinner as we speak.
I bet he is. That's amazing. Oh, God, yeah. Incredible.
I am spoiled. I'm very spoiled. I deserve it.
Absolutely, for this running and you caring back. So there you go.
Of course. We're a perfect partnership. I am really lucky. I know it's nothing to do with running, but I am very, very lucky. He's amazing.
That's incredible. Did you say you've been married 9 years earlier?
Yeah, 9 years. We've been together for 16, nearly 17 years. We've been married for 9 years.
When's your 10th
wedding anniversary will be next June.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mine's on Friday.
Is it? Oh, yeah. Wow. Congratulations for Friday.
Thank you. No, I thought I mentioned it. You said 9 earlier, so yeah.
No, we just had the 9th. Hopefully everything's back to normal from that, because we want to possibly go back to where we had our honeymoon for our 10th, possibly, which was Ariba.
Okay.
Aruba, sorry, not Aruba.
Aruba.
Yeah.
That's all right.
You know what?
Awesome.
I use a system at work all the time called Aruba. So every time I think about Aruba, it comes out as Aruba. Apologies.
That's all right. I wouldn't say it right anyway.
Most people go, "Where's that?"
Yeah, yeah. Where is that?
It's near Venezuela.
Oh, there you go. I didn't know.
Yeah. Beautiful island.
We was meant to be going to the Shard with the kids as well for our 10th, but obviously it all got called off, so they don't open again until 40. So bit gutted, so I don't actually know what it's going to do. So we'll wait and see.
At least you can go to. At least you can go to a restaurant if you want to. So at least you can go out now. If it had been a few months ago, you wouldn't have been even been allowed to go out, would you?
Exactly. Yeah. At least there is some choice there. And in a way, I said to Sophie, my wife, I said, we'll probably just save this money, what we was going to use, and do something big next year. Or if we have to wait for 15 years, we'll wait for 15 years. Yeah. So there's choices. Yeah.
I'm just going to do everything next year. All the stuff that I missed out on this year. I missed out on a girly weekend in Barcelona, which I was gutted about.
Oh, bet.
and another holidays, which everybody else has as well. But I'm saving money by not commuting 90 odd miles every single day. So, yeah.
Wow, 90 miles.
Well, it's 40. This sort of like 40.
And then
40. It's not quite 90 miles. It's about 40. It depends which route I take, depending on the traffic. It's about 45 miles.
Still long, too long.
Yeah, you get used to it, but I love my job, so.
Yeah, fair enough. If you love your job, then worth doing, isn't it? Yeah. I used to do a long commute, but this was going back years. I think that's 35 to 40 miles as well there and back, but it was a low paid job and I didn't love it. So
and I love driving. So I love driving. I don't mind. But when I first started working for the firm, they were only 4.5 miles away, so I used to cycle to work, which was brilliant.
Okay.
And then they moved the office, and so to keep my job, it was it was travel or lose my job, and I loved my job, so I chose to travel.
No, fair play to you. No, that's good. That's good. Oh, I wish I could run to work or cycle to work a bit too far. Well, it's about. I'm only 17 miles. This is rub it in now, but you're walking from home. about 17 miles there, and obviously back, and it's just. I could run there, but it's when I want to run another 70 miles coming back. Not every day.
Cycle it.
You cycle it. I have actually cycled it. We've got a place called Berry Hill. We have to go up. It's a mile and a half of literally. Uphill.
Mine was uphill on the way home.
I honestly think that hill, it's quite dangerous. It's quite busy with traffic. It's 50 mile per hour road. I think I could run up it quicker than I can cycle up it. I'm actually confident of that. Okay, so on to the final question. And what one thing, it doesn't have to be one thing, it could be a number of things you would say to encourage other runners.
Do you know what? I think just do you. Just do what you do, because anybody who's going to be watching this are probably already running because they're part of the running community. So they're already doing what they do best. And don't compare yourself to anybody else. Just do you. Do what feels comfortable for you. Do what feels right for you. Don't do something just because somebody else is doing it. Do it because you want to do it.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, one of the things I always say, you've said it, don't compare yourself to others. Celebrate other people's times and PBs and that, but don't think, they're faster than me and I need to try and get to that time. You'll just destroy us. Don't destroy yourself. You'll get yourself off running.
And we see it an awful lot, don't we? A lot of people will put, I know this is slow compared to others.
Yeah, I know.
And it kind of breaks my heart a little bit because you're not slow. I mean, my pace is, I think, okay for my age and my ability and my short ass legs because I'm only little. So but I don't look at somebody else's and go, oh no, I wish I could do that, because I know that we've all got different capabilities, haven't we?
100%. Everyone's different. Everyone is different.
And I am capable of running a little bit faster, but if I do, every time I do, I always end up with an injury. So I'm quite happy to just plod along at my own pace. Sometimes it's a little bit quicker than others. But I don't try for it. Just kind of, like some days I'll come back and I'll think, oh, that's a bit quicker than it was the other day. Not much, a few seconds. Yeah. But I don't necessarily go out and think I've got to run fast today or I've got to run far today. I just go out and run because I love it. And I think I think that everybody should do the same. Run because you love it. If it starts to become a chore, then you're doing something wrong. So, you know, have a look at maybe, do you need to slow your pace down a bit, or do you need to not have such, and you know, don't give yourself a massive goal if it's going to stress you out. Because running isn't about them. It's about, you know, it's about that release, isn't it? About that feeling that you get afterwards. So yeah, don't stress yourself out about it at all.
Yeah, absolutely spot on.
Don't be so hard. Don't be hard on yourself.
No, and
do what you do best.
Do what you do best, 100%. And 6 years ago, I was doing, I'm going to call them races, not events, because that's what I used to kind of do. And you do enjoy them. You get a massive buzz out of a race, and if you beat a PB in that. But I was going out doing quite a lot of speed training and not enough slow runs. And you know, I didn't really hear much. I don't know if you've heard of 80-20.
I have.
Oh, you know about that? Okay.
That
I don't. It might have been around back then, but I didn't hear much about it. And now I'm like, I don't do too much speed work myself now at all. I just do kind of easy pace runs at the moment. I'll do a little bit when I'm marathon training again, but 80-20, 80% easy, really easy runs, slow runs, and 20% fast. And I think that's a good thing. It's become extremely popular for that reason, because if you go out and keep doing speedy stuff, potentially, yes, you'll get injured, but mentally as well, you're going to do your own heading and you'll stop enjoying running, and you'll reach a point you just don't do it anymore.
No, if it doesn't feel good, don't do it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's got to make you feel good.
No, absolutely. 100% agree with you on that. Yeah. Definitely. I was going to ask another question. I didn't get it in there earlier. Do you know you said about you was doing more steps? Was there was it 180 steps you was aiming for? Did you have a specific?
It was 185 I was doing.
Right. Okay. That's interesting. Did someone tell you that, or Google, or did you just? That's what you do now.
It was So basically, a song came on, and I realised the beat was exactly the same as my feet were landing on the floor, and I thought, oh, okay, I need to find out what the beats per minute of this song are, because if that's perfect for my running rate. If I fill my playlist with 185 beat per minute songs, then every single song that I listen to is going to help me keep my pace steady. Like I say, and it did for a while, but because I've started trying to shorten my strides a bit, I'm actually doing a bit more now, so it doesn't work now.
No, that's interesting.
But it did work. It was it worked. It really helped, especially if you've come to a difficult hill or something, or you're struggling a little bit, and you're naturally slowing down a little bit because you're struggling. It did really help at the time. Yeah, so it's worth a go if anybody wants to try it. Just work out a song that's the right beats for your feet hitting the floor. And I just what beats per minute has this song got in it?
Yeah, it's just easily available, isn't it? But no, I only ask. I did similar, not with music, when I kind of started out running, and always if you Googled it now, it'd probably say, oh, the golden number is 180 is probably what will come up. And I was doing 173 or 170, and it's something I improved just naturally about music. I used to get on my watch kind of how many steps and so on, and I got to 180, but it did make quite a difference to me. Yeah, definitely 100%. So I always recommend people do try it as well.
You can get them on Spotify if you just put 180 or 175 or whatever. You can get playlists on Spotify.
Yes, and some people even use metronomes to do it as well. So I've been to events and someone's had the metronome. You can hear it. I've been running behind them, the metronome going off. So
wow.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Again, it's finding something that works for you, isn't it?
If it works for you, it works for you. Yeah, absolutely.
It worked for me at the time. It doesn't now because I've changed certain things, so it doesn't work now. But it did at the time, so it was brilliant when I was doing it. Really helped.
No, and it helps. That's great. You found something that helps. Yeah. No, fantastic. Right. Well, that actually brings us to the end of the show. So thank you very, very much for coming on, Angela. It's been great.
You're welcome. It's been brilliant. Thank you. Thank you for asking me.
You're welcome. Thank you, because it's a bit of short notice as well. Don't tell anyone how long.
That's correct.
That's it. Thank you very much, Angela, and take care, and we'll speak to you soon.
You too. Thanks a lot, Mark.
All right. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. If you're watching this on the Facebook group, and immediately this will be available on YouTube and again on podcast channels. Don't forget to visit us at www.therunningcommunity.club. Thanks, guys. I'll see you all soon, and stay safe.